You see, in that answer, I get what it's all about.
Yep.
I don't think you were mad. It was your passion.
Yep.
You just happened to be a guy who loved his boxing, who happened to be very good at acting.
Yep.
When you tried to come back to movies,
yeah.
I mean, the game had moved on for you.
It was gone, yeah.
I mean, apart from anything else, your face had been pretty badly mangled.
Well, you know, I had 5 nose operations. It broke my cheekbone. I had 2 concussions. Broke my hand. My hands just never be the same, probably.
But what it did, the boxing years, it took a famously handsome face
Right.
and turned you into a bit of a train wreck.
Right.
I remember sort of this picture landing on the showbiz desk, and we were like, has he gone mad? Why? He was gorgeous.
He already had the most brilliant, wonderful, characterful face. What on earth would anybody want to do that? It's a complete and utter mystery to me.
The late 90s saw the rise of the weekly gossip magazine. It signalled a new age of intrusion and celebrity bashing. A regular page filler born out of this was the When Plastic Surgery Goes Wrong feature. And their poster boy, well, it was Mickey Rourke.
The plastic surgery is so way out of, it's almost, it's embarrassing almost. It's embarrassing, it's so bad. If you're going to do it, do a good job.
The press thought the surgery looked more than just reconstructive.
It struck me that he was trying to change himself, wasn't he? Become something new, you know, like a butterfly, but failed.
I saw him at something in London not long after he'd had it done, the first bout, and it was sort of truly terrifying, you know, frighten the children.
I've noticed since I've worked in Hollywood that there is this ludicrous obsession with how you look, with all things aesthetic.
Right, right.
Do you care that you get regularly dissected now as plastic surgery feature, here's Mickey Rourke?
No, I mean, if I had, you know, stuff blown out of proportion about operations I've had on injuries, I don't read it. I don't give a fuck what somebody has to say. You know, that town built on envy, so they're going to say what they want to say and believe what they want to believe. And
But when you try to get movie parts again, presumably then it mattered.
I think my reputation at the time was so devastatingly bad that my movie career was pretty much over before I left to go back to boxing.
When you finished the boxing, you had, I read quite a harrowing account from you of your life, the sort of life in the wilderness.
Yeah.
For 10 years, where you had no money,
Right.
you had no real friends to count, you didn't have much to get up for other than your dogs. And probably the most sort of sad moment for me when I read your story was how you would try and get tables in restaurants. And
Yeah, there was it where you couldn't pay, before you couldn't pay for a drink.
Yeah.
And I remember going off on some guy one time when I couldn't get a table in a place. And I said, what's the matter? I don't have a fucking movie out this week, you know? Where I would say it's worse to be a has-been than to like never have been anything before. Because when somebody goes like, what happened to you? You know, like people would actually say, I'd be standing in a 7-Eleven buying a pack of cigarettes. And the guy would say, hey, didn't you used to be in the movies? There's like 6 people in line. I'm going, yeah, a long time ago. And then somebody, oh, Mickey Rourke. I go, Jesus Christ. I think, and, you know, it was like, you know, going through that kind of thing.
Did all this behaviour, the restaurants not giving you tables, all that kind of thing?
Well, it was only one time.
Did it confirm to you what an insincere, shallow place Hollywood is, really?
Not really, because by that time I was talking to a guy who was kind of helping me put the pieces back together.
This is the therapist you saw?
Yeah, and I realized that it wasn't any producers or anybody in Hollywood. I'm the one that brought the curtain down on myself. You know, I jumped off the mountain head first.
I mean, it was one of the great self-implosions in Hollywood history. Listening to you, it seems obvious to me that very destructive childhood almost certainly cost you your career,
right,
your marriage,
yeah,
your fortune. I mean, every good thing that came your way, in the end, got chewed up by the damage that was there.
I don't like to use it as a crutch. What I'm using as a crutch is the damage that came out of it. Damaged me in a way that I couldn't function without self-destructing and ruining what I was trying to achieve. And the hardest thing for me is it's like when my ex-wife said to me, you know, you have to change, you know. And then I realized, man, I gotta change, or I might as well just blow my fucking brains out.
Did you ever think of blowing your brains out?
Sure.
You actually have moments when you thought, I'm going to kill myself.
Well, let's just say, you know, it crosses your mind.
How would you have done it?
I have no idea. But you see, because my kid brother was sick with cancer his whole life trying to live, there was a big part of me, I wouldn't do it because mainly because of him. You know, because he would fight so much to beat his illness and want to be alive, and I'm going to sit there and blow my fucking brains out. No, I wouldn't. There's no fucking way I'd do it. Mainly because of him.
Was Joey the one person you were closest to in your life?
Yeah.
And was his death the most difficult thing you've ever had to deal with?
Yeah. Yeah. When it's your brother and he's dying, you know, he's in your arms, and you see the light go out. You know, that was you know, people could say, oh, death is a beautiful thing. It's a lonely, ugly, terrifying, horrible thing. There's no beauty about it at all.
Do you think he'd have been proud of the way that you've pulled yourself back together?
Well, you know, Joe died about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and I remember him saying, hey, bro, he said, you changed, man. I never thought you did. And I'm sitting there looking at him, and he's dying, and he's very happy to see the change.
By the turn of the century, it looked increasingly unlikely that filmmakers were ever going to consider the Hollywood has-been anything again. But movies had changed, and the people making them had changed too.
Filmmakers like Mr. Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino grew up admiring Mickey Rourke. Those people are not dancing to somebody else's tune, and neither is Mickey. So they can make music together, for sure.
In 2005, hot movie director Robert Rodriguez transferred the graphic novel Sin City to the big screen and cast Mickey as serial-killing anti-hero Marv. The film was a success and introduced a whole new generation to Rourke's, albeit prosthetically challenged, on-screen talent.
Sin City was certainly his best role in years, in a very, very long time.
I'm so pleased because thank God he had a good role for a change.
I was fascinated by him in Sin City. To see how strange he looked. Pretty special, I think, in a weird way.
Did it feel good to be back?
You know, people say that to me. It's like when you've been out of work 13 years, you don't ever feel like you're back.
What does it feel like?
I don't know. I think in the beginning, I think when you're really young and you first start out and you hit and things are going smooth, you know, you're there and it's never going to go away. And then when it goes away, you know, maybe it goes away for 6 months or a year, but after, you know, a decade, you know, you start to go, maybe they're right, maybe I am through.
Do you feel fortunate to be back making movies at all?
After what I did to everybody, yeah.
And can you enjoy it more this time?
I do, yeah, I really do.
You feel less anger, less resentment?
I don't feel any at all.
Now you're actually enjoying making
Well,
the film.
because I realized I was the monster,
Not everybody
not
else.
these people I was screaming at in the dark to come out and fucking get it on.
With plans in place for a Sin City 2, Mickey's Marv may well be back, and his latest role in The Wrestler is tipped to be the best work of his career.
He closed off his future with his plastic surgery because he became funny looking. And then his plastic surgery relaxed and he looks like Mickey Rourke again. So I think his future is wide open and I think he's gonna blow all of our minds.
He's probably got the redemptive role in him, like Brando when he did The Godfather.
He's on his way back, and you know why he's on his way back? Because he was always great. And he looks kind of strange, but it doesn't matter. In a weird way, it doesn't matter, because inside is a phenomenal actor, and he always was. And I think that if he's doing well right now, that's the reason. He's just a really, really good actor.
I mean, would you like to have a movie big enough now to stop the endless procession of people coming up to you and talking about 9.5 weeks?
You know what? The 9.5 week thing doesn't really. It's almost. It doesn't anger me or it's almost embarrassing because it's like I don't get it. You know.
I mean, do you feel a huge pressure when you're with a woman now to produce fruit and stuff?
No.
Do they try and exert that pressure, you know,
No, not
for
at
old
all.
time's sake?
No, not at all. No. No, the women I'm with these days don't even remember that movie.
Mickey, I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's great to have you back.
Thank you. It's great to be back for another drink.